Were there times you ever called or texted your mom that she didn't respond to you?
The only time that she's never responded to me was when she was killed.
Coming up on WTOL 11 at 11, eyes across the nation are fixed on Lenawee County ahead of week 2 in the trial of Dale Warner. Plus, DHS has secured a near 300,000 square foot warehouse just outside of Detroit Metro Airport. The latest developments from state officials in the area. And new developments in the case of Nancy Guthrie that may help blow the case wide open. Welcome into WTOL 11 News at 11. I'm Michael Sanwin. Thank you so much for joining us on your Valentine's Day evening. We'll get to all those top stories and more in just a moment, but first, let's bring in meteorologist John Birchfield. John, we got to see the sunshine for Valentine's Day. We can get a repeat performance tomorrow.
Yeah, Michael, into the afternoon, there's going to be beautiful sunshine. It's going to be a great day, but there will be some morning cloud cover. Now, this big story ahead is the temperatures that'll be climbing to the 50s and possibly even making a run for 60 degrees by the middle of the week. Temperatures have dropped back to the 30s. There is more cloud cover moving in tonight as some showers impact southern Ohio. We have some upper level clouds that you may see out the door tomorrow morning. Low pressure is going to be rolling into the Ohio River Valley. So when you wake up and you don't see the sun, I don't think that's going to be an indication of how the rest of the day is going to play out. Still seeing overcast skies around 8 o'clock a.m., mostly cloudy through midday and into the afternoon. Bright sunshine, winds out with high temperatures in the upper 40s. Increasing sunshine is expected, a very mild and comfortable afternoon, and the mild feel is here to stay for the next several days. Low 50s President's Day, low 50s also Tuesday with a bit more cloud cover, and Wednesday still likely to be the warmest day of the forecast period with temperatures close to 60 degrees, but it does come with some rain. I'll show you when you need that umbrella coming up in just a bit.
The first week of testimony in the high-profile murder trial of Dale Warner is now in the books. Prosecutors spent the last 2 days laying out their case against Warner. He's accused of killing his wife, Dee Warner, and covering it up. Several witnesses took the stand Thursday, including Dee's stylist, Dale's sister-in-law, and 2 of Dee's children. Each described what they knew about the Warners' marriage and the emotional changes they noticed in Dee just before she disappeared. Yesterday, Dee's son described noticing growing strain between Dee and her husband in the months before she vanished.
It had become significantly worse the last couple of years. I would say somewhere between 2015 until 2021. It had gotten significantly worse.
As for what's next in the trial, court is closed Monday for the holiday, so testimony is set to resume Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. You can watch the entire trial over on WTOL 11+. You'll be able to watch some of the bigger moments, and then starting again next week, some in-depth legal analysis. Download WTOL 11+ on your TV, and you can watch it all for free. Investigators say they found DNA at Nancy Guthrie's property that does not belong to her or one of her close relatives. It's the latest clue in the missing persons case that is now on day 14. Jen Sullivan has the details.
The desperate search for Nancy Guthrie stretching toward a 3rd week. Authorities in Tucson, Arizona working around the clock to find the missing 84-year-old.
We're doing everything we can, humanly possible. We want to find Nancy.
The latest clue in the case, DNA evidence found at Guthrie's property. Friday night, more than a dozen law enforcement vehicles, including SWAT and forensics, were seen at a residence 2 miles from her home for several hours. Authorities were also seen towing a Range Rover from the parking lot of a restaurant, but no word yet if that's connected to the case. And investigators have also found several gloves, but so far, no suspects.
If we knew who it was, we'd be on it.
Guthrie is the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. She was reported missing February 1st. She was last seen the night before in her home in the rugged Catalina foothills.
The homes are not right next to each other. They're really spread out. A disappearance, a kidnapping in one home the next house would not even know about it.
Based on this recently released doorbell camera video at Nancy Guthrie's door, the FBI says the suspect is a man with an average build and about 5'9", 5'10". They say he was wearing an Ozark Trail hiker backpack. Since Guthrie's disappearance, her children have published videos pleading for her safe return. The most recent posted on Savannah Guthrie's Instagram account, old footage of her mother with the message, "We will never give up on her." I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Closer to home now, two Michigan politicians now say a nearly 300,000 square foot warehouse in Romulus has been secured by the Department of Homeland Security for possible use as an ICE detention center. Michigan State Senator Darren Camilleri said that, quote, "This detention center is not welcome in Romulus or anywhere across our state," alluding to the warehouse becoming an ICE detention center. However, Romulus Mayor Robert McCrate released a statement yesterday stating that he and the city have not been officially notified that it will be an ICE detention center. McCrate did confirm that representatives from DHS on site of the building that it has been secured by their agency, that the intended use has not been confirmed, and McCrate said he has been receiving mixed reports. McCrate stated that any detention center for any purpose is not permitted and will be opposed by the city of Romulus on all levels. Also yesterday, we told you about a Southfield office building rumored to be used by ICE, this time according to U.S. Representative Rashida Tlaib. Now, this is not true according to the company that leases the building. The Congresswoman released a statement Friday making those claims. She has since taken that statement down. The company that owns the building, Redico, stated it has signed a new lease agreement with the U.S. General Services Administration, not ICE, and that they have a long-standing relationship with the GSA. And their lease explicitly prohibits any law enforcement, stating, quote, "Any suggestion that the space is being leased by ICE or used for purposes other than administrative office functions is inaccurate." A partial government shutdown centered on the Department of Homeland Security began just after midnight last night. Congress went home for the holiday weekend without passing a budget bill. For what this all means, we'll go to Willie James Inman, who's traveling with President Trump.
TSA workers at the nation's airports this weekend assumed a familiar role today, the face of the latest impasse in Congress. The Coast Guard and FEMA also on the job without pay, with lawmakers failing to fund the Department of Homeland Security with no deal in sight.
I know what they want. I know what they can live with. The Democrats have gone crazy. Stay back!
The partial shutdown sparked by backlash over federal immigration officer tactics in Minnesota, leading to the deaths of 2 Americans. Renee Good and Alex Preddy were remembered at a community gathering Saturday. Democrats sticking with their demands, including a ban on face masks for immigration agents, a requirement for officers to show ID, and wear body cameras.
The only way to ensure that ICE is actually reined in is to change things dramatically, boldly, meaningfully through legislation, and that's what this showdown is all about.
Tens of billions in previous funding allows ICE and Customs and Border Protection to operate during the shutdown, prompting Pennsylvania Democrat John Fetterman to question its impact.
Why are all the Democrats going to shut down our entire DHS when we all know that it has no impact on ICE?
Also on Friday, a federal judge in Boston ordered the Trump administration to return college freshman Annie Lucia Lopez Belloza to the U.S. within 2 weeks after she was wrongfully deported to Honduras. 20-year-old Belloza was taken into custody at Boston's Logan Airport before she was deported in November against a court order. She was on her way to visit her family for Thanksgiving. Willie James Inman, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
A Toledo man was arrested early this morning for leading police on a high-speed chase in South Toledo with a 1-year-old in the back seat. TPD said 21-year-old Christopher Mack failed to stop when they tried to pull him over around 2 a.m. near South Detroit and South Avenues, leading them on a chase that went over 100 miles per hour. The child's mother was in the passenger seat. Mack's next court appearance is scheduled for Tuesday. A Toledo man is expected back in court next week after police say he tried to rob a pizza place with a knife shaped like a gun. Now, according to court records, 32-year-old Tyja Flash is facing an aggravated robbery charge in connection with an attempted burglary at Marco's Pizza on Main Street in East Toledo this past Thursday. Flash appeared in court yesterday where a judge set his bond at $100,000. Turning to lighter fare now, a Perrysburg freshman is making a big difference in the community. What started as an Eagle Scout project has now turned into helping dozens of families at Mercy College of Ohio. Dominique O'Neill joins us in studio with how one teen is turning service into bright smiles. Dom, what can you tell us?
Well, Michael, 14-year-old Caleb Blaine is a Boy Scout, and he's looking to be an Eagle Scout. So for one of his service projects, he came up with an idea to gather donation money to help some of the moms over at Mercy.
We got peaches here, and so these would go here.
Caleb Blaine is not quite old enough to drive yet, but he's already driving towards a bright future, not just for himself, but for families in need. And it all started with the talk with his mom.
I knew that there was a food pantry here at Mercy College. My mom works here. And I thought some college kids might be struggling with also having children and all that. And sometimes their kids do need things like toys for things like birthdays and holidays. So I wanted to make this accessible for our college kids here on campus that they can obtain for their kids.
So Caleb got to work looking for a way to ease their burden. He started by going to family and friends, asking for money so he could buy toys, and he eventually raised $600. And with the help of more than 8 volunteers over 2 days, the group shopped, organized, and collected 50 to 60 different toys, starting the initial donation for what's now known as the Present Pantry, Caleb's pride and joy.
Stuffed animals are here, and then younger kids' stuff is over here. It means the world so that I can help these kids just be happier in general and make their days.
Chelsea Campbell, the director of mission at Mercy College of Ohio, says since the expanded pantry opened back in January, it has already helped more than 36 students.
It's been a really awesome opportunity, and we definitely did see a spike in people going and using the food pantry the weeks immediately after the Present Pantry was added.
School leaders say overall they are thankful and honored to have a local student stepping up to help.
It's really cool that Caleb kind of kept that in mind and thought about this project for our students.
College officials say they hope continued community support will help keep the pantry stocked for families who need it most. And Blaine still isn't an Eagle Scout yet, but he says this project is a huge step in the right direction. Reporting in studio, Dominique O'Neill, WTOL 11.
The Toledo Roller Derby League is fighting for more than just wins on the track. They're fighting for a home. Coming up, what you can do to support their push for a new permanent spot.
And it's going to be a very mild week of weather. Temperatures could make a run for 60 degrees, but also some rain chances ahead. I'll let you know when you may need that umbrella coming up next.
Welcome back in. Make sure you're buckled up and watching your speed on the roads this weekend. The Ohio State Highway Patrol is partnering with the 6th State Trooper Project for an enforcement blitz all along I-75 all weekend long. They'll be looking for violations, including ones with safety belts and speed. And a heads up if you use the MLK Bridge to get in and out of downtown Toledo. The city says it'll be closed Tuesday and Wednesday next week as part of the ongoing bridge upgrade project. A detour will be available through Front Street over to Craig Street Bridge over to Summit Street in both directions. That closure is set to happen from 9:30 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. both days. So if you're heading downtown during these hours, plan ahead and allow extra time for travel. Let's get things over to meteorologist John Birchfield with a look at our forecast. John?
Well, it's going to be a very mild week of weather with temperatures well into the 50s. And with that significant warm up by midweek, we could even make a push for the 60-degree mark. Now, we have dropped back to the 30s this evening. There is an increase in cloud cover right now and the chance for a little bit of patchy fog. No major impacts expected tonight. Now, new data continues to trend us even warmer this week, especially around midweek when the lake breeze that we had talked about the last couple days not looking like it's going to be as big of a concern. In other words, a warmer stretch of weather. And next up, a February thaw that is likely to surge those highs well into the 50s. We're down to 33 right now. There is a bit more cloud cover. There are some showers pushing into central and southern Ohio. Those are likely to stay just to the south of us, closer to that line between Lima and Mansfield on south. Here's the system that is producing precip for much of the Ohio River Valley. However, the hour-by-hour forecast does keep us dry. Those showers just very narrowly miss the area to the south. Perhaps a few sprinkles clipping Wyandotte and Crawford counties, but otherwise dry for the metro. By lunchtime, bright sunshine returns in Toledo, still a little overcast south and east, and then into the afternoon, the sky opens up, turns blue and bright, and it's going to be a really beautiful day. Increasing sunshine for your Sunday, close to 50 degrees once again, and we do stay in the low 50s for Monday. President's Day is likely to be a warm one. Tuesday is expected to turn a bit more overcast with highs once again in the 50s, and then Wednesday, that is set to be the warmest day of the week, and you'll notice we have nudged up those highs to 58, and there's the chance for some low 60s south and west of Toledo. Afternoon highs tomorrow close to the 50-degree mark. Monday could be even warmer, especially southwest. You'll notice areas along the lakeshore from Port Clinton and Sandusky up towards Monroe and Luna Pier. A little colder. However, some of the latest data does bring those 50s in the picture for Monday. It is likely to be a very mild week of weather, but also the chance for showers is going to return. The first batch of showers moves in with a warm front. This will be moving in Wednesday morning, so do plan on some wet weather early Wednesday. By Wednesday afternoon, likely to be mild and dry, and then Thursday night, our next batch of rain rolls on through as a cold front approaches on the backside of this storm system. So keep in mind, there is going to be some wet weather that accompanies this warm up. Temperatures likely to be in the 50s Monday and Tuesday, and then keep in mind also a little bit cooler near the lakeshore, so that temperature fluctuation could range from 60 to much colder near the lakeshore. Wednesday, the warmest day of the forecast. Could even see some 60s southwest of Toledo. Wednesday morning brings rain, and then again Thursday night into Friday, the chance of some showers. Into next weekend, we do drop back to the 30s. So if you're looking ahead to weekend plans, mostly cloudy and partly sunny Saturday and Sunday, and likely to be considerably cooler. The extended outlook does feature a chillier weather pattern, so get out and enjoy those 50s while they're here this week before temperatures drop back down into the 30s. Michael?
All right, thank you, John. A long-standing roller derby league is trying to secure its future here in Toledo. The Glass City Rollers held a fundraiser today at the Toledo Tattoo Company. The league was founded back in 2007 and currently competes in the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. But rising rental costs alongside a growing roster have created new challenges at the league's current practice facility. On top of that, the Rollers are currently without a venue for actual games and haven't played a home matchup since before the COVID-19 pandemic. The league is working to secure a new permanent home that can accommodate both.
With the current state right now, everything keeps moving up a little bit, and we want to be able to find somewhere we can have home games right now, and we don't have that right now, so we are trying to find somewhere, getting popular, bringing it back up from COVID. A lot of people didn't even know Toledo had roller derby, and it's been around for almost 20 years.
The league's roller derby team, comprised of about 30 players, starts competing in March. Mooney says she's hopeful the league can find a home venue soon, get its first home game in over half a decade on the schedule. Chase?
All right, guys, when we return, it was round 2 of the Battle of I-75 in Bowling Green. We break down the game and hear from both teams. That story and more next in sports. Sports brought to you by Jim White Honda. Welcome back. It is Valentine's Day. Love is in the air, but there is no love lost between Toledo and Bowling Green. Saturday night, these two met up for the second meeting of the men's basketball teams this season. Let's head down to Bowling Green. The Rockets won a thriller the last time these two played, and would we get the same thing this time around? First, Toledo with the ball. Ball is loose, and who else but Javante Campbell? He's the NCAA leader in steals, headed the other way, lays it in. He led BG with 19 points. Later, Sean Craig with a catch and shoot. The Northview kid's shot is wet. He finished with 12. Jump ahead to the second half. Campbell in the corner, drives baseline, drops it off to Troy Glover for the slam. Falcons extending their lead early in the second half. But the Rockets not going away quietly. Sonny Wilson buries the triple. He was terrific. He led Toledo with 20. Finally, Falcons with the ball again. Josiah Shackelford in the corner. Knocks down the tray. He was great too. He had 16. And Bowling Green rolls to a double-digit win over rival Toledo. Big win for the Falcons.
We're really proud of their effort. You know, we dialed in. Obviously the first game, we felt like we had some self-inflicted wounds that kind of didn't close that one, and we wanted to finish was a big theme. And we said, this was a game we wanted to win by double digits and not leave any doubt. And the guys stepped up and handled the business. Most importantly on the defensive end, and then took care of the ball. Obviously, that was major emphasis, was getting those turnovers down and making solid plays. And they executed the game plan. We wanted some things there were some things that we felt like offensively we wanted to do, and guys did a good job, executing and staying focused.
On the women's side, a special game inside Savage Arena. Fans were wearing pink for Valentine's, of course, but it was also the Rockets for the Cure game. Now we're going to fast forward to the fourth quarter. Toledo was up 3, and Miriam Diala, she's going to find Cadence Dykstra on the backdoor cut. A good-looking pass here. You see it there, finishing there at the hoop. Then Evilise Cole. She was going to try a floater, wouldn't connect, but Faith Fed Robinson crashes the boards and puts it back. Another double-double for Faith Fed Robinson. 4 minutes to play, four-point game. Diallo working inside and goes glass for 2. But Eastern would not go away. Brooklyn Thrash, the pride of Elmwood, gets free. She nets a layup. She had 8 points for Eastern. But another local, Kendall Carruthers, stepping up in the clutch. She had 9 points in the fourth quarter alone. She helps UT pull away late and get the win 62-51.
Just taking care of the ball. We didn't have that many turnovers, so just take care of the ball, being aggressive on the defensive end, and knowing our personnel. Just staying composed. I know I can handle the ball very well under pressure, so I just got to stay composed and stay ready.
I challenged our players. First of all, we should protect Savage at all costs. Second of all, we're not losing 2 in a row at Savage. So I liked our response. Thank you to everyone that came out and wore pink. We knew it was going to be a battle. But a little perspective on what a battle really is, right, in life. But I loved our effort. I loved our toughness down the stretch.
And shifting to some news that's broken the last couple of hours, there are reports the MAC has voted to formally add Sacramento State to the conference. Sacramento State will join as a football-only member starting this year. The school would take the place of Northern Illinois, who is leaving to join the Mountain West Conference. That will keep the number of MAC member schools at an even 12. Shifting to high school girls basketball, Bellevue is 21-0 entering this game, 1 win away from completing the program's first ever undefeated regular season. And the Lady Red were feeling this game from the jump. Caitlin Turinsky with the bucket and the foul. Quarter winding down now. Anne-Marie Davis trying to beat the buzzer. First shot doesn't fall, but the second one does. She gives Clyde a spark, but it was short-lived. Maisie Gracemeyer on the glass, gets the rebound and the foul. One more for the sophomore. Then the defense comes alive. Tipped pass leads to Ellie Freitag. Gets her hands on it. She pulls up for the jumper. Bellevue runs away with this one, 64-28 the final. The Lady Red cap off a perfect regular season, 22-0. And Corey Santoro's team will begin its state title defense next week at home versus Lexington. Finally, a couple more scores for you. Bowling Green women were in Muncie playing Ball State. They lose 82-67. And the Walleye were at home. They end up falling to Cincinnati 4-3. For now, that's all for sports. We'll be right back.
Welcome back in. Some of Anthony Wayne's high school sweethearts got to relive the past for Valentine's Day. The school district held its first True Blue Sweethearts reunion after tonight's varsity boys basketball game. Couples strolled the halls of Anthony Wayne High School once more and flipped through a collection of yearbook memories. The couples were serenaded by the AW Close Harmony Ensemble with a selection of classic love songs. And one pair we spoke with take us back to when they first met.
His cousin and I were really good friends, and I was a cheerleader. He played football. And one day at a random practice, I saw him at a drinking fountain. I'm like, oh, that kid's kind of cute. I feel like it's very special because we met so young, and now we have 2 kids and a house, and it's like, it's crazy that it started here and how much has changed from then to now.
The student-led band Hit and Run also provided the night's soundtrack. Isn't that sweet? And in honor of Valentine's Day, we'll take you back to 1997, 1 year after I was born, when a Northwest Ohio couple pokes fun at each other. Well, mainly a wife making fun of her husband's love of cars. Take a look. All right, well, there's no sound on that one, but
it was 1987. I mean, that was still in its early infancy.
It was a silent movie.
I was gonna
Sound
say,
wasn't
I didn't know
invented
the
yet.
silent era stretched into the 90s.
There are people at home who are stewing right now. How dare they?
We're not calling you old, don't we?
Well, listen, we got a fresh forecast prediction.
We do, yeah, fresh sunshine, and it's going to be another nice day tomorrow. You're going to wake up. It's still going to be a little bit overcast as that low pressure I pointed out does bring rain to the Ohio Valley. But by the afternoon, we're just going to flip a switch, and the sun is going to be back in action near 50 degrees. Monday, President's Day, going to be in the lower 50s with partly sunny skies. Another warm one on Tuesday with low 50s. That lake breeze doesn't look like it's going to be as big of an issue this week, especially for the metro. So we could come close to 60 Wednesday, although there will be some rain in the morning. Enjoy it while it lasts, though, because temperature is going to be dropping off by next weekend. Certainly feeling like a little taste of spring is in the air. Chase, Michael?
Yeah, absolutely.
50 degrees has never felt so good.
Oh, yeah. Even today was a great day.
Yeah, terrific. I mean, sunshine, everything. It's been terrific.
Bring it on.
Just in time for Love in the Air. Everybody, happy Valentine's Day. Hope you have a great night. See you again tomorrow. Take care.